I've got a taxi 8 o'clock, so let's go.
Right, 3, 2. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Back Post. We've got a couple things to apologise for. Firstly, we need to apologise for that terrible clickbaity title and thumbnail we've just produced and that's got you to click here. Welcome. We're not actually too sorry about much. We're just sorry because we predicted terribly. This is the end of the season podcast. We're finally wrapping up. This has been a chaotic season, not only for football, but for the Back Post, for life, everything. So we're going to try and wrap it all up in this one podcast. Josh, you wanted me to pass it to you?
I just wanted to say that I'm excited, Jay. And am I excited for quality content coming your way? No, I'm not. I'm excited that today
I nodded.
You shouldn't have nodded. Today is a day that the Back Post gets back to its roots. I'm going to have to nip off in 20 minutes and put a pizza in the oven. Adam's got his taxi booked in for 40 minutes' time. We've got places to be. We've got things to do. We're going to have to keep it quick, punchy and exciting. And the Back Post is at its absolute best when
That's what we do
it's
best.
chaotic. Yeah.
And also, I would like to say, I've got an apology straight off the bat. I want to say sorry to the people that expected more videos from us, really. And it's quite a serious turn, but it's very hard to get together like this when we're all so busy. So we're very thankful that you're still watching.
Adam would like to apologise for not a single peep out of him since Manchester United lost the final to a little village in Spain.
Which is something we'll absolutely touch on, Adam, because you
Into
haven't.
that, won't we?
Where are we starting then, boys? I know we've got apologies, but right now, I don't want to talk about it, Adam, but we've all had seasons, haven't we? We've all definitely had them. Can confirm seasons have happened.
Seasons have happened.
Arguably have had better seasons than others in this group. There's no point shying away from it. Chelsea obviously reached an FA Cup final, and that's great. Tottenham,
just the pinnacle of
reached
football.
the Carabao Cup final, and United won the Europa League final. So pretty similar seasons all round for us.
We all made finals, and we all lost finals.
Yeah, it's good.
It's just the way it is.
That's that. So moving on to our apologies.
Nah, fuck you. Yeah. No getting away from it. Listen, this season, you got to try and talk about it as a whole season. This season has been mental, and like I've already touched upon along, like you think back to the start of the season, getting all these new players in, being very excited, having Frank as manager, that turning sour, things going wrong, Tuchel coming in, me not being happy about Tuchel coming in, then all of a sudden the players are playing brilliantly, bar Timo Werner, and then we reach the pinnacle of European success, and I end the season on a high. Whereas I've had such a but I've just had such an up and down season that it's almost weird to end it on such a high, to end it on the biggest high in club football.
And you feel
Doesn't
okay,
seem right.
obviously, that hoisting the Champions League trophy, while just off in the distance, Frank Lampard is lying with a knife firmly wedged in his back. You as long as you're okay with your club legend being hounded out. That's fine. If you want to sell your soul, that's fine.
No.
That's
You've
fine.
got to remember. You was like that, and when he first left, you hated the thought of a different manager coming in, no matter who it was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In Jay's
this
defence,
thing about Frank.
he made a point of not.
This next big thing.
Sorry. In Jay's defence,
he made
a point of not, slagging Tuchel off, but he still was heartbroken.
Yeah. Of course. But obviously it's worked out all right for you, innit?
Listen, the Chelsea Football Club is a weird place, and they do business in a weird way. And the frank conversation needs to be had, because what that appointment meant was something different. Roman then decided to go, fuck that different thing. We'll just carry on with the thing we've been doing, which has brought him success. And then again, it has brought him success. So it's one of those weird things where it's like, a lot of Chelsea fans were happy to see this new era happen, and we've just reverted back. And listen, this is we're ended on a very big high, and I absolutely loved it. And Tuchel, as much as I didn't want him to come in, he's been brilliant. But next season, the guy could be fired knowing Chelsea. That's just the reality of it. You know what I mean? Like he could be fired by Christmas. That's just the reality of Chelsea Football Club. So
you told me to have a day off, and I accept that. But also, me and Adam are in firm agreement look how well you played. You've literally got the Champions League record for conceding the fewest goals on the way to winning it. Is this not an absolute damnation for Frank Lampard?
It can be, and it absolutely can be, but it's all. I think it is unfair because it was his third year in management, whereas Tuchel's been in the game for a while. It's comparing two people. It is comparing two people at very different stages of their career. Come back to me in 10 years, 15 years. No, when Frank Lampard has had that experience, then yeah, if he hasn't done as much as we thought he might have, then yeah, you can maybe say he isn't the manager that we all think he might be, but he's in his third year. You can't. Every manager we know and love, you can't judge them in their early stages. Yes, we gave him a big job at that time, and it wasn't the right decision. Look,
but it wasn't
that,
like it.
That has been
my
clear.
concern is, and I'm not just blaming him. It's not like the concern is that yes, if he was maybe fifth, and you were, the absolute contrast between what's happened is what concerns me. Yes, he's new, but it's such a contrast.
Well,
absolutely.
Going back to the point with having 3 years in management, I hate to do a Josh and bring it back to United, but you look at Fergie with Aberdeen. They had no money. They got to high end of the Scottish League. Come to United, could have been sacked, but we didn't spend the money to get a full squad in. You've spent hundreds of millions of pounds to get to essentially this point, but you've had Lamp who's done naff with it, and you've had Tuchel who's done what was expected to happen. No. Expected to win a Champions League is far from it, Adam. I think we were underdogs in the final. We've come up against both Madrids. One of them's won the league, the other one came second. We were absolutely not expected to win the Champions League. I do think Tuchel is an incredible manager, but he's probably over achieved in that respect. Sorry, let me.
Okay.
No, let me carry on. And no, because listen, I weren't expecting this Lampard slander, right? But I just think it was. What was my point? I've lost my point now. My point was we were in a bad state. We'd lost plenty of games on the bounce as well. It was looking dark and grey. We were still 4-5 points away from top 4. It could have changed in 3 games easily. So as bad as it looked, it could have changed. This has been one of the weirdest seasons in football. Look, Tottenham, you have had one of the weirdest We've looked at Tottenham this season and thought they are terrible. But then they've had the complete opposite and they've looked brilliant. You know what I mean? So it's been so up and down that I think to say when Frank left it was tough, but to say he couldn't have turned it around because it was 5 points, weird season, this and that. I don't think Frank would have won the Champions League final now, but he could have got us top 4, could have carried us forward and could have pushed more. So I think it's it's easy criticism to say that Frank's shit. I think he's got a big future ahead of him, and I hope that he succeeds in that. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's easy to say that he was shit.
Right, hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Obviously, 6 months ago, you're under Frank. We don't. Yeah, you're right. You're not favourites for the Champions League. But now the exact point we're at, the 3rd of June, looking back, and you look at what happened. You look at what the actual showings that both the Madrids gave.
Mm-hmm.
I think Adam is right to say that it's expected. With the money you spent, with the investment that constantly gets piled into Chelsea, with the attitude that only trophies matter, and I'm not even saying that as there's a reason Ollie's still in the job, and I don't even think it's a bad thing. It's because obviously there's a lot of issues. It's a complex one. Obviously the Glazers don't really care; they only want to get top 4. But also the reason United fans haven't completely turned on a dime is because, and this is going to just sound awful, but they're happy to see their club exciting and attacking and with a man at the helm that they feel connected to, whereas Chelsea had that opportunity and then they could have gone a few years without a trophy. But the fact is, it is expected, because to go a few years without a trophy is completely unacceptable to Chelsea, and perhaps, barring City, the only club where that is completely unacceptable.
Yeah, that's to be fair, very fair point. That is Chelsea we expect trophies, we expect silverware year in, year out. That's why we invest. That's why Roman does what he does. Absolutely. So that's fair. I just think the reason why we were all disappointed is because we thought that the first thing you mentioned in Frank was a new start, and it wasn't all going to be about that, and something was going to change. So we expected change, didn't get changed. Now, we need to accept that, because that's not what Chelsea Football Club is. That's exactly the point that you've made there.
One
completely.
thing about the Chelsea fans, what I've seen is, though, you've never actually resented Frank Lampard, which is actually quite a nice thing to.
A minority did.
Yeah,
It's a minority.
but in terms of
Tiny.
Lampard as a legend for Chelsea, I don't think that many Chelsea fans will go, "Oh, he's ruined it."
Oh no, absolutely not. His name was still being sung outside the bridge when we won the Champions League. It hasn't tarnished his reputation. So
anyway, nice for you.
Let's move
You've won
on.
the Champions League. Well done.
Nice for you.
Take your money.
Cheers, Adam. Let's go to the other side of European football then, because you didn't mention it. You didn't do a fan cam.
The Conference League.
Adam.
Oh, right, no, sorry, Adam.
The
You go.
conference.
No, that's even further down. Yeah,
Adam,
you know
come
what?
on.
I'm gonna come back to the final in a minute, but if you look at where we was last season, before the season started, to where we are now, I would have said, yeah, I'd be happy with that season. Getting to Europa League final, getting to the semis of an FA Cup, which he should have probably gone through, but Leicester outplayed us. Finishing second in the league, no one was really challenging us behind the top two. I would have been happy. However, watching it from start to finish, we should come out with at least one trophy, which is just a bit annoying. I'm not upset. Obviously, I was at the time.
I was
Say
gonna
you was at the
say
time,
you're not
mate.
upset, Adam, but please just walk me and Jay and the viewers through your experience after that final whistle, after that De Gea miss.
Yeah, okay. Well, no. First of all, before the game even started, I saw the team. Fantastic team. We dropped Fred. We put Pogba in midfield. We allowed him to do box to box. We had Cavani up front. We had Bruno behind him. It was a fantastic team. Seeing that team, we should have beaten 3-4-0. And I said this, and I think everyone would agree with me personally. But it was... They didn't help. They put 10 men behind the ball. You look at the 5th minute of the game, they had 3 players around Bruno. The rest were just in front of their box. Made it very, very hard for us, and fair play, they defended out this
I say that you can't blame them for doing that. They're a little village in Spain against one of the biggest clubs ever.
100%. We should have been winning that game at half time, but finals are finals. They're different. Look at the Chelsea game. City sort of walked all over you, but they didn't play a set of defensive mid. But yeah, after half time, it was 1-0, wasn't it? At half time. I can't remember.
No, it was 1-1, wasn't it? No, it was 0-0 at half time. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I can't remember. But anyway, I was very, very
irrelevant.
disappointed at half time, no matter what score it was. And the second Cavani scored, I thought, right, this is it now. We should be putting another 2 past these. And again, it didn't happen. We didn't play our best football. Ollie made the wrong subs again. When he made subs, he brought Greenwood off for Fred, which is also, that's sackable in my opinion. But Rashford had one of the worst games of his career. He gave the ball away how many times? He stayed on for 120 minutes. And then the thing that annoyed me the most is, and this is where you'll start to see a bit of disappointment in Ollie from me, he made 2 subs in the 119th minute.
Yes, that was insane. The substitutions, insane.
It was purpose. Like, oh fuck it, we'll accept penalties now.
It speaks a lot about your squad depth. Like who he actually had to bring on wasn't ideal.
Like he brought Fred on to change the game.
This is the difference between us and City at the moment. They have 2 starting 11s. We have 1 1/4, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean the only one that if everyone was fit, I know you're not the biggest fan of him. If everyone was fit, you'd have expected. The only sub where you went, something could happen here, would have been Martial if he'd made the bench.
Yeah.
Van der Beek?
Potentially. Maybe the start of the season. But
I like Van der Beek, but he hasn't done anything this season, has he, to prove that?
Yeah,
Ollie doesn't like Van der Beek.
I don't think it's that. I just don't think there's a spot for him just yet. I think he's a top player. I've not seen the best from him yet.
I don't think you will unless you sell Bruno Fernandes. It's a very difficult situation.
Well, that's it. And I think that's another reason why Lingard will stay at West Ham, or he'll at least move on. There's no place for him. Like Bruno's number one, isn't he? Let's be honest. But to round up that final, I didn't talk to anyone for 2 days about football. It's not the fact it was Europa League. I don't care about that. We should be winning a trophy. It's the fact that we're Manchester United. You know, we're supposed to be the biggest club in the world, and we got beat off, like you say, a village. Just very, very disappointing. And it's not De Gea's fault. I'm not mad at De Gea at all. He went to the 11th penalty.
He missed his penalty. Like, he's a goalkeeper. That's fair enough. And also,
he missed. Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Let me caveat that briefly, because, like you said, you had 5 substitutions to use, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, no, that's why I'm annoyed, and you can see that, and I've told you that before. Ollie's in-game management is terrible. It has been all season.
We've known that since he's been appointed. He's always making very, very late substitutions.
Yeah, but so just to go back to that, it's not De Gea's fault. However, admittedly, Luke Shaw's penalty should have been saved. That was the worst penalty of the lot. It still went in, fair enough. Admittedly, De Gea should have saved a pen. I know towards the end he seemed to get better and better and better, but the first 5, it's not like he should have saved it.
5 minutes ago, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Adam, it's not like he got nowhere near either of them, like any of them, which is
they had their penalty. They played that game, wanted to go to penalties.
Most of them were brilliant. All I'm saying is, we know the record. De Gea hasn't saved a penalty in 6 years. Dean Henderson has saved, I think it's 50% or like 55% of all penalties he's faced. So,
but
you want to?
Are you saying bring on Dean Henderson?
I say sub him on for pens, 100%.
But this is the thing. So De Gea plays our European games, our cup games. That's always been the thing since the start of the season. For then to bring De Gea off in what, let's say, is the 119th minute. For me, that just brings morale down for De Gea. That might push him for him.
You say that.
You know what it is, though. No, but you know what it is.
Sorry,
go on.
Well, I'm just saying, you're a manager. Take all emotion out of it. By the way, you've got penalty shootout now. You can play a keeper that has a 0% save ratio in 6 years, or you can play a keeper that has a 50% save ratio in 3 years. Take the emotion out of it.
Josh,
you're a football manager. You're supposed to manage your team.
I get it, right, and it actually makes loads of sense. But how many managers have ever done that?
Van Gaal did it.
How many
someone tried
to
swap a keeper?
Sarri, I know, but that's not going to happen.
Sarri tried to do it, and it didn't work.
Again.
I understand the point of pulling emotion out of it, but De Gea for me is still our best keeper.
That's wrong. That's just wrong.
No, it's not.
It is. It's wrong. Because he's not your first choice goalkeeper anymore.
But I mean, if I was a manager, I'd be playing De Gea all season.
Then you'd probably be finished lower on points than Ollie did. Because
not at all. De Gea, the Roma game is perfect for it. We conceded 2 goals. Sorry, he got man of the match. He makes saves that no other keeper in the world can save.
False.
And you can.
I mean,
false.
Man just
Black,
said Manuel
false.
Neuer, Ter Stegen, they can all make those saves.
Man just said false. Alright, listen.
No, but let me just we'll move on from this
go on.
for a second. But
false.
Let me just say, fuck, I've forgotten. I was just on the tip of my tongue. I'm gonna get it back. Do Henderson. Right, there we go. What you're completely right, Adam. De Gea was the best goalkeeper in the world. He probably was. But look, and this is a perfect example, and just bear with me for a second. Flashback 5 years ago, Joe Hart was the best keeper in the world, keeping Leo Messi out in admittedly a 1-0 defeat for Manchester City, but put on the greatest goalkeeping performance probably ever seen by an English goalkeeper. just consistently denying Messi from like point blank range. Fast forward 6 years, he's a Conference League goalkeeper for Tottenham. Like, time moves on. And
You know what's annoying about what you've just done there, Josh?
I never said it was best in the world.
You said
I said
he
he's
can make
best in the club.
saves that no other keeper can make. Surely that quantifies
He's better than
best in the
Henderson.
world.
My point was, he's a better keeper than Henderson.
You know what you just did there, Josh? You made a point,
That's
but
like
you
off
also
Tottenham.
added, you slagged off Tottenham just so that it was almost that you couldn't attack you back.
No,
That's
it
mad
wasn't that. It's
psychology
just that
from you.
Joe
there.
Hart is such a good example. Like,
All right,
De Gea,
so if
De
you're
Gea was better than Dean Henderson. Now there is an argument to be made, and the man that watches Dean Henderson and De Gea every single day in training has got, and his coaching staff have gone.
I get it. Yeah, fair point.
No,
Right,
point.
listen, let's move on from
Yeah.
that, lads.
but
Let's-
your
let's
Pickford's
move on
better than
from
both
that.
of them. England's number one. Let's go.
Go on, Pickford. Right, listen, get in the comments if you're here, if you're 21 minutes in and you want to, if you're fuming, right, pick your goalkeeper. Josh, I don't want to discredit your, because we've spent a lot of time on this, right? I don't want to discredit your thing. You've got a podcast where you've actually explained all of Tottenham's season, so a little bit of a plug for that, and then maybe 2 minutes on
Watch
your
it.
season, and then we'll
It's
move
good.
on.
Watch it. It's really good. Me and Ross, we got in a car yesterday because we had to find a quiet location. Honestly, it looked like we were dogging. It was great.
You said
Watch
that
the
at the start of the
podcast.
pod. I heard that. I listened to the first 4 minutes, and that was the first thing I heard. I was like, good. It's good to know the podcast is doing well.
It's a chaotic season. Mourinho was never a fit for Tottenham. He just wasn't. We discussed how he probably only took the job really because it was a choice between Tottenham and Arsenal, and Tottenham were offering him a starring role in Amazon Prime's All or Nothing series, and Jose Mourinho is, above all else, an arsehole.
A superstar.
And wants that, image for himself. And it was a chaotic season. It started off so beautifully. There's been some really wonderful moments. There's been a bizarre amount of absolute fucking worldies from Tottenham this season. Goal wise.
Mhm.
It's been a good season for goals, and that's where it ends. Ryan Mason, for some reason, hates Ndombele. We're going to get a new manager in. Jay's going to cry because it's looking so likely it's going to be Conte. That will be the next Spurs lens, probably. And,
Yeah.
things, there are positives to take. Not a lot from the season itself. Oliver Skipp was a formidable force in the Championship. He's like player of the season or nominated for player of the season down there. It can only
Down
get
there.
better or worse, but probably better. And
But maybe worse.
You'll be damned if it stays the same.
we
Yeah.
gave as sad as it was to give Chelsea the Champions League spot by battering Leicester. As much as I prefer Leicester to Chelsea, it was also nice just to crush their dreams a little
Yeah,
bit
but
at the end of the season.
being a big a top six fan, you can't go letting teams like that do you over. You want to beat these
Yeah,
teams.
and exactly.
don't
And just
you?
the
It
fact that
doesn't matter.
Madison about 7 years ago tweeted, "I hate Gareth Bale with a passion, the little monkey," and then 7 years later, Bale scores a brace to knock him out the Champions League. There's poetic justice in that. No one can deny that.
Big up Gareth Bale.
It was the most just below average season you could possibly imagine. We're going to lose Bale now because
Yeah.
Carlo Ancelotti loves him. He will be straight back to Madrid.
I heard that today. Yeah.
I think genuinely, just as a final note, part of me thinks Conte's going to stay, Conte's going to come, and I'm not sure how that's going to go, but Conte's not going to sell Harry Kane. So
Yeah, he'll put his foot down.
there's
Well,
one more
and
season
I would like to bring this up. I mean, you probably spoke about it in the pod that you do with Ross, but when Poch was linked, it was sort of like, oh, right, Kane's not going to go anywhere now, is he? But I was going to ask the same question with Conte. Do you reckon that this will sort of trigger a stay for him?
My understanding is that Poch wants to come. Like, from everything source I've read, Poch wants to come, but the only way he gets released from his contract is if he kicks up a stinker.
Yeah.
And he's not that kind of guy. So Poch is out for now. He will be back in Tottenham one day. I have no doubts.
But
Harry
at the
Kane-
same time, Kane has come out and gone, I want to leave. He said,
No, he
I
hasn't.
want to...
He hasn't said that. He does. He wants to leave. I know he does. I'm not an idiot. But
Yeah.
He hasn't said that. He said, I've never said I'd stay at Tottenham. I want to win trophies. Now, if Tottenham pull their finger out their arse this season and go, here's Antonio Conte, we're staying, and we're giving him 100 million, he'll stay for another season.
Yeah, well, and at the same time, I think that Kane's got a it goes without saying, he's got a massive influence on the dressing room, and I would even say the staff. I think if Levy was to turn around and go, maybe, we're meeting with Conte, let's say Conte does come in, we're going to bring the best players in, we're going to get this person, we're going to get this person. That, for me, is the only chance that Kane will stay, if he truly
absolutely
trusts Conte and Levy.
But we will move on, but
Conte,
quick
sorry,
warning
not
to
Conte.
Kane. If Kane does go to City, which, let's be honest, it's United or City he'll go to. If he does go to City, they will reach Champions League final. Pep will have a mental breakdown and bench him. And they'll lose.
He'll play CDM because he didn't have one last year.
Like, Kane, you're actually decent at left back, aren't you? And Kane will be like, Pep, honestly, please, mate, just let me do my thing. And Pep will go, no. And it'll be shit. Right, yeah.
Let's move on.
Actually, just to round it off, I know we are moving on, but quick fire now. Out of 10, Tottenham had a 4.5 out of 10. Jay, Chelsea.
9.
Adam?
7.
7, 6. Fair enough, but yeah, fair.
I'd say 6. We'll just go for 6. Right, we wanted to look back at the start of this season before we all, got more grey hairs and was less stressed about life. We made some predictions and they're going to be up on screen now. So whoever's editing this, put this up on screen. If you're editing, this is going up. I'm remembering 26:56 on my camera. So we all predicted City were going to win the league. Mm-hmm. So fair play to that, everyone.
Didn't I predict Liverpool at the start?
No. So this is the very start, the start of the season. Everyone predicted City to win, which is quite good. Me and you, Josh, predicted Chelsea to come second. We thought we would be the closest to contend.
You just spent 400 billion, so yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I think we had fair reason. Again, me and Josh both thought Liverpool would finish third, so we were saying with that. Did they finish third or fourth?
Somehow they did, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 points for us. Adam, you said Liverpool finished second, Chelsea third, and then in fourth spot, United for me and Adam. Josh, you said Arsenal would finish top 4. What was you thinking there?
That deserves an apology to Arsenal.
Sure. Yeah. No, not an apology to Arsenal. Arsenal should apologise to me.
Sorry for getting your hopes up.
No. Arsenal should apologise to me because honestly, I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was just pessimistic.
Top 4, but above United and Spurs, you put there. That's
I was clearly just having a bad day and just figured life would hurt me.
So if you finish second and I put this finish fourth, do I get 2 points because they gained 2 positions?
No, you have to get it back.
We're not doing any points because it's too complicated. Me and you, Adam, are no better. Well, me and you are no better because we thought they'd finish 5th ahead of Spurs. And
well,
Spurs
we all really respected Arsenal, didn't we?
Well, they just won the FA Cup. They just won the FA Cup and had gone on a winning spree. Like, it felt like they were going to continue it. And, the All or Nothing documentary had just finished with Tottenham crying. So, maybe I was just in a bad space.
Yeah, maybe. And then we all thought Spurs. We all thought Spurs would finish 6th. Where did you finish, Josh? 8th. 7th conference. Okay,
right.
So that was top 6. You're never going to get them right, are you? I mean, to be fair, the fact we all got City, that's fair enough. But then it comes to relegation where we all 3 of us owe some big apologies. Villa, we all shat on Villa. We all thought they'd finish.
In our defence, let us not forget that Villa should not have even been in the Premier League this season.
I did say this today to Jay.
If it wasn't for that goal, there was just that dodgy bullshit.
That dodgy goal, absolutely. So, you know what? Villa, you should be gone anyway, so fuck you.
Yeah.
West Brom.
We'll get a point for that.
We'll get a point for that. You keeping count, yeah? West Brom, me and Adam both thought West Brom would go, so we get points for that. Adam and Josh both thought Fulham would go, so points for that. I thought Brighton would go, so they could have. They were very unlucky, but they could have. None of us said Sheffield United. None of us expected the demise of Sheffield United, which is kind of fair. And Josh, you hate Leeds.
Right, yeah, that's where my apology comes in. You've caught me at a bad time. I just ran to go and put my pizza in. And yeah, this is what this podcast is about, really. It's about a few apologies. And
Wait. If we're going to do the apology thing, can I go grab a beer?
yeah.
But don't mention the break. Just cut it whenever you feel like you need to cut it.
So yeah, in regards to Leeds, that's where some apologies come in, because that's the whole point of this podcast, and we're going to get through this quickly, but we owe people apologies, because I said that Leeds were going to burn out, and caveat, this was a weird season that allowed all their players to games to be played in such a tight space. I think that helped them. Same with their promotion push like last season. They got a massive break. So I still think that the Bielsa burnout has happened at pretty much every single club he's ever been at. And the one time it hasn't happened is when the season's been disrupted by COVID. I'm not going to fully back down off this high horse, but also Leeds did something that no one expected them to do, and that was adapt their game to opponents that are clearly superior to them to beat them. So fair enough. Well done. Well done on sitting back a little bit against.
I will not apologise.
So was that sort of an
that-
apology, Josh?
Yeah, sorry Leeds, but also fuck you.
I will not apologise for the fact that every time Leeds got hammered by 4-goal margins, that they were still respected by the pundits. I'm not going to let
We
that
put
one.
6 past him. And the pundits were in the studio going, "Oh, they did play well though, didn't they?"
Ain't they good?
McTominay
Ain't they
scored
good?
2 in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Well done,
Exactly.
Leeds. Well done.
Well done.
I owe it a bit of an apology. I mean, he kind of just proved me right at the last second, but I did slate Ole Gunnar Solskjaer off quite a lot. You know, he then bottled a final against a team that he really shouldn't be losing against. I know football isn't quite that black and white, but yeah, no.
I think Ali is one of my apologies as well. I think, you know, United have showed a lot of trust in him, and to be second amongst, you know, all the craziness this season, to make a final, like you say, they lost the final, they probably shouldn't have, but to make the final and blah blah blah, he's done all right.
I accept your apologies.
Cheers,
it's
Ollie.
not
On behalf
aimed
of
at me,
Ollie.
but what I will say is, and I've been saying this for half the season now, we've progressed every single season he's been in charge. Yes, we lost a final, but also on the flip side, we got to a final. Like we've improved every single season since he's been in charge.
You've
so
improved,
for
but
me,
every single Manchester United manager has had silverware apart from Ollie.
no, but it's different now because Ollie is very inexperienced. He's not really got the backing of the board behind him. He's not got the players he wanted. I know Mourinho didn't either, but Mourinho's got years going back to Lampard before. This isn't a quick turnaround. This isn't a Conte coming in when you were title at Chelsea. This is.
I was okay.
Go on. What are you gonna say?
Yeah,
Go on.
If United wanted to win a trophy next season, true or false, they would immediately snatch Conte from under Tottenham's nose right now. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's one of the only managers that are available that wins you trophies. Like,
I was thinking about this the other day.
guaranteed.
I think Mourinho, both when Tottenham got him and United got him, was a world-class manager. But the thing is, but Conte is, and I think he's slipping under the radar a little bit. And as much as he will destroy Tottenham by the time he leaves, if there's one man that's going to come in and he's you know. I saw a great
Well, you're already
stat.
destroyed at the moment, aren't you? So if you can get a trophy out of it, you'll be all right.
Go up. Like, I saw a great stat the other day that Zlatan Ibrahimovic has only failed to win 3 titles while he's been playing in Europe, and it was for Juventus, United, and AC Milan. And the
Well, it'll be
difference is
twice at United.
when he was at Juventus, Conte was at.
yeah, I know where the stats
Conte
go.
basically managed every single team that's
No way.
defeated Zlatan, which is just a fun stat.
Yeah, but before we go on to more apologies, there's one thing I have said since the final, is that for me he's got one more year, and if there's no trophy in that year, I'm not behind him anymore.
My quick question would be as well, like, do you back him this? Like, should United give him a bunch of money this transfer window.
100%.
That's
It's
not
not just
they
Ole
don't.
that needs the
It
money.
needs players on
The,
the bench.
the fans need the money. The Glaziers, if they ain't going anywhere, they need to give us shitloads of money.
Well, that's the whole
That's
point.
it. They're not
But
going to
then you-
sell.
But then you wouldn't want them to go if they did. That's the whole
But
point.
I'm thinking differently to everyone else. They ain't going anywhere. I know they're not
No,
going
I
anywhere.
know,
I knew they
but
were.
The protests. United fans wouldn't want the Glazers to go if they were putting money into the club. They want them to
No,
go
but this
because
is.
they're taking money out of the
But
club.
But Avram Glazer has come out and says, I'm going to fund the club as an apology in a way, which obviously still isn't right.
How many days before all the season ticket renewals has come out has he said that?
We'll still sell every single one. I'm
I know
telling you.
will, but like it's just.
This is the
you know,
thing, it's an
marketing,
inconsistency
isn't it?
with
Marketing.
fans, and you know it's not all the fans, but you know,
Right.
you got people at the protests that were going into the mega store and buying fucking shirts for the kids.
Okay, right.
There's no correlation there.
It's 5-8. Adam is just admitted to be absolute Glazers in. I owe a really. I do owe an apology to Mason Mount.
You both do. You both
Yeah,
fucking
sorry,
do.
Mason Mount. You're a
Yeah,
you're a
that was
shoo-in.
that was my one and only apology, Mason Mount.
Yeah, you're a shoe-in starter for England. Really quick
Top
touch
player.
on what's gonna. We'll speak about this in. We're gonna have a Euros show. Join us for the Euros. It's gonna be great. I haven't actually mentioned to any of you, but I am free on the first what Manchester Day. And we're gonna. What was I gonna say? Yeah, we're gonna talk about things like why the fuck is Henderson going when he couldn't actually physically play the game he was supposed to be involved in last night. Henderson, if you've made it this far into the video, drop out the fucking squad. You're not fit.
True.
Fuck off.
You know, at the end of the day, you're taking up a spot for Lingard, aren't you? So it's very selfish of you.
You know, well, not even Lingard. James Ward-Prowse. Fucking fuck
Lingard.
off now. Trent Alexander's dead. Trent Alexander-Arnold's dead. Henderson's dead. Fuck off. Lingard and James Ward-Prowse. Get in. And also, just as a side note, because we're not ever going to discuss this game in full, we should have lost against Austria yesterday by pure chances alone, but also Tyrone Mings elbowed a man in the head in the box. That happened.
I have
That was
no
a
clue
so- No
why
VAR,
he's
was there?
No.
I have no clue why he's here over tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow in. He's
Yeah,
not Chelsea.
you know what?
I can like
I'll
him now.
pull
He's
my
not a
face
Chelsea
then,
player
but-
anymore.
He's amazing. He's honestly, he's one of the best centre backs in Europe. No, it's probably too far. Apologies, boys. Any more apologies? I think I need to slightly. I mean, I've kind of already have, but I need to apologise to Tuchel because of how I reacted when he came in. He's not my dad, but maybe I have two dads now. Maybe I'm one of those kids that just has two dads, and I really miss my other dad.
Jay,
but my other dad's still good.
It's 2021. You can have two
Yeah.
dads now.
You can have as many
They
dads
love-
as you
and
want,
you know
and
what?
I've
They
got
love
two
each
right
other.
now.
Tuchel thanked him.
Yeah.
You're in a, you've got two gay dads, and it's
Listen,
2021.
stop.
You
He
know?
won the Champions League. Just.
That's why I'm saying sorry to him.
So what if he
That's why I'm
stopped your
saying
mum?
sorry to
He
him.
won a Champions League.
Yeah, exactly.
Well
That's
done.
why I'm saying sorry to him.
The
Fucking
last
hell.
apology for me is Mourinho. You owe me an apology. Mourinho. You little
For
shit.
taking all those layers of my life.
You know what? I bought into it for a while. I thought, you know what, something can happen here.
You did as well. You
But-
really did.
But I've seen the light now. I'm glad he's gone. He wasn't
Hashtag
top-
Marino apologise.
Hashtag apologise to us immediately, you rat. Enjoy Roma.
think that's-
Enjoy Roma, a shit team that finished 7th and is going to be playing in the Conference League next season. Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Brilliant. Right, lads, that's it.
Great
That's it. That was a great pod. I really enjoyed that. We're going to be doing more shit like this. We're going to be bringing it back to what we used to love doing. We kind of went away from it. We're going to cover the Euros as much as we can. So make sure you're pressing subscribe. You're liking for that because we're going to go hard. And then next season, shit's going to hit the fan. So make sure you're here for that ride.
Every week we're going to have a Tottenham-based podcast out. We're going to be chatting. There's going to be Euros. There's going to be next season. More seasons of football will happen, and we'll talk about it.
If you ain't subscribing, you need to apologise.
Yeah, you
Pretty much.
I'm Mourinho. If you okay. Anyway.
No. Let's end it here. Right, everyone.
Cool.
We finally got justice for Foyth, and that's all that matters.
Yes,
Oh,
Foyth,
for
justice for
fuck's
Foyth.
Tell your dads,
and
everyone. Tell your dads.
Vaccinate your dads. Tell your dads. Get
Vaccinate him.
vaccinated and come back next year.